Hi there, welcome back to the channel. If you find yourself overspending or not have enough money after working long hours, this is the video for you. The thing is, you're worrying about the big expenses, but you're not checking the small ones, which adds up over time. In this video, I'm gonna give you an 8-step method to help you understand your expenses and how to be better with your money management. And the first step would be the leak test. The leak test would be something like having a boat. You have a hole in your boat. Not knowing about the hole doesn't stop your boat from sinking over time, or no matter how big or small the hole is, your boat will sink eventually. And so you have to think of your money as a boat. So the first step is identifying where your money is going. And my question to you is, how much money have you spent this month alone on non-essential things? Things that you don't need, things that you probably just want, or things that you don't even realize that you've been paying for. And so what I want you to do is go back through your bank account statements and check them and see what exactly you've been paying for the past week. Random runs, subscriptions, just money that you have leaking from your account. Which brings us into step number 2 is the emotional spending. The emotional spending would be something like going online and just buying things because you might feel as if that's what you want. However, that does not go with your budget. And I'm gonna speak about this briefly when it comes to emotional spending, because not having a budget and emotional spending is a recipe for disaster. You're asking yourself for failure at that point. You have no plan for your money and you're just buying things to make yourself feel better about the situation that you're in. Maybe you have a job, you work, it's very stressful and you get paid really well, but you find yourself in debt and you're still working paycheck to paycheck. And over time, these small impulse emotional spending will add up over time. And how do you combat this? You take a step before you buy anything. Take a step back before you buy anything, and you think to yourself, is this what I really want? Is this for me right now? Or is it because of how I'm feeling? I'm feeling as if I need this, when realistically you don't even want it. And so just give yourself time before you purchase anything and really sit with it and sit with yourself and think, is this for me and do I need it? Which brings me into step number 3, and that is the subscription trap. A lot of us find ourselves in the subscription trap. In fact, I'll actually admit that I've subscribed to 3 music platforms all at once: YouTube, Apple, and also Spotify. You find yourself subscribing to a whole bunch of things that 1, you no longer use, 2, you no longer remember that you had, or you had free trials and you no longer remember to cancel the free trials, and now you're being charged on a monthly basis, not checking your bank account because you're so scared, and lack of your money awareness. So it goes back to the leak method before, where you know where your money is going and you understand where unsubscribing from things that no longer serve you, or unsubscribing to less things that take money away from your bank account. So understanding where your money is going, step 1. 2, limit emotional spending. And 3 would be taking away all of your unnecessary subscriptions, which sounds fairly easy to do, however a lot of people miss. Impulse purchase. I speak about this when it comes down to your emotional spend. A lot of times your emotional spending is also an impulse purchase. And the best way to combat an emotional purchase is the 24-hour rule. Understanding that you give yourself 24 hours a day. A day later, you'll find yourself that you didn't even, it was just a craving. It's like craving candy when you're supposed to be on a diet. It doesn't serve you. So the longer you can go without it and wait before you make that purchase. And granted, if you have the money and after 24 hours you want it, then go ahead, you can purchase a want. But you have to start thinking long term, like, is this beneficial for me long term? Knowing what your plan is, knowing where your money is going, and sticking to your budget will allow you to spend better. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying yourself things. I don't want anybody to get this misconstrued. However, if you want to have better financial health, then budgeting and properly allocating money will help you become a better spender. Because When you budget, you now know your income, your expenses, and what you want to do is you want to raise your income as much as possible. And what you want to do is you want to decrease your expenses. And that's the simplest way I could say it. A lot of people miss the steps how to actually do it. Credit blindness. Credit is something very, very funny because you can spend so much money without even realizing it and spend so much of other people's money that you don't even realize it. And while you may accumulating all this debt, because it's easy to get access to capital with credit, but also it's easy to put yourself in a hole with credit. Now, for myself and for the average person, you have high interest rates. You have pending charges before, and not checking your credit card statements often, but also not checking your pending transaction will actually put you further in debt without even realizing it. And a lot of people have poor spending habits with credit cards. They just purchase, and not checking their transaction history, which is a very, very crucial part into credit, into understanding your credit and your credit blindness. Now, credit could make or break you as an individual. It could help you get access to money that you've never had, or access to more money to help you fund your businesses, or just help you fund your life. The thing with credit is a lot of people use their credit to buy liabilities or to spend money that they don't even have. And what I've realized with the common person is they combine credit with, one, emotional spending, two, they find themselves overspending with credit because they don't check their pending history, and three, they altogether don't pay back their credit on time. And so credit blindness will dig you into a deeper and deeper hole just by simply not paying attention to it, because it's easy to tap your card and go. It's easy to spend money that you didn't work for. You don't have it. But the thing is, the more credit you use and the more debt you accumulate because of overspending, the further and further in a hole you put yourself. I'm gonna give you guys a quick tip. This is not a part of the video. This wasn't supposed to be a part of the video. However, it's pretty simple, and it's simply having the money before you purchase anything on credit. So if you have a $3,000 credit limit, and you have $500 for spending, only spend $500 on your credit card, put back that $500 on your credit card, and now you know you're not in debt. You're not in bad debt, I should say. And a lot of people, what they find themselves doing is they don't have any money to spend, and they spend the credit card to then work the money, to then pay back the credit card, to then not have enough money to do anything, to use the credit card. And it's an endless cycle of this credit card usage, which doesn't have to be a negative thing. You just have to have the money in order to do so. Step number where are we, 5 or 6? I'm not sure, I'm lost. But the next step would be it's only mentality. A lot of us find ourselves being like, it's only this amount, it's only that amount. The truth is, the small transactions adds up over time. If you've ever been to the supermarket and you buy a huge grocery, you see a huge grocery bill. A lot of times the bill at the bottom, it's hard to see how it reflects. I'm sorry, because you'll see a bunch of small transactions and you see this big number at the end. You're like, how? Like, that don't even make sense. That's inflation for you, by the way. We'll go into that in another video. But that don't even make sense. And so taking away the it's only mentality will save you so much money in the long run, because one, you're delaying your gratification to, one, keep your money, and two, also to keep your financial health healthier. You'll be surprised how much money you save simply by saying no in the moment and then looking back over time. So it's only mentality, get rid of it. It's only $5. No, it's not. It's negative $5. It counts. And what you can do to help you with this is take out money in cash, and you'll actually be amazed to see that you'll now start to think in proportion to the value, right? Like, that doesn't look like it's worth $10. Do you get what I mean? So having that physical cash is a way to combat it, and that's the problem with today's day and age. But that's for another video, which we'll get into cryptocurrency. But it's physical cash helps you with spending because you can physically see how much money you're spending rather than just tapping your card or tapping your Apple Pay or your Samsung Pay or whatever. So that's the other step to overcome the it's only mentality. So take physical cash and walk around with physical cash. You've been hearing me hint about this the entire video, which I even barely touched on it, which is budgeting. But a lot of people, I've been guilty of it myself. No budget and no plan. What you do is, especially if you live with your parents, you get your money, you spend it on everything that you want, and you have no plan for your money, and you find yourself back waiting for that other paycheck a week prior. I know, I've been there. The thing with that is, you're not setting yourself up for financial success. You're setting yourself up for financial failure. The quick synopsis of how to budget is income versus expenses, which I've been over. But you want to allocate at least 50% of your money to your needs, 30% of your money to your savings and investing, and 20% to your debt. And you can switch that around 30 and 20 based on how much debt you may have. And how do you pay off your debt? And this is kind of off budget with no budget, no plan. But how do you pay off your debt is two simple methods, which is the avalanche versus snowball method. Avalanche is where you pay off the highest debt first to the smallest debt, or you pay off the smallest debt to the highest debt. Either way works. Find out which way works better for you and just pay off your debt. The faster you can do it, the faster you can start actually investing in your future. But that's the framework that I want you to have. It's 50% to needs, 30% to savings and investing, and 20% to wants and needs or debt, right? So it's actually phenomenal how much you can achieve with just a budget, understanding your income and your expenses and seeing it on paper or seeing it in front of you and actually taking time out to read your bank statements. It's very, very important to see the difference that you may have in terms of financial health over a period of time once you start to take in these steps and preparation in order to do better at these things. Last but not least, you have the fear of checking your bank account. And I've been there before where you don't want to be bothered with the mental stress of worrying about how much money is in your bank account, and you be paying and hoping that it goes through because you didn't check your bank account to see if you had enough money. And this is called financial avoidance. Your problem doesn't go away by avoiding it. Your problems go away by seeing it, acknowledging it, and actually taking steps to overcome it. And not looking at your bank account balance does not in any way, shape, or form help you. You have to know where your money is going, how to properly spend money, how to properly keep and invest your money, and how to have proper financial health. This is key step to personal finance. And if you've actually had any sort of money, it's the same as how you would manage $10, you manage $100, you manage $1,000, or even tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions. It's all the same. You save, you put it towards needs, save, invest, and spend wisely. Think before you spend, not spend before you think. Which brings me to my last quote I'm gonna leave you with before I go. And Warren Buffett says, let me tell you exactly what he said. I don't want to misquote myself. And he said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." It's actually important. Warren Buffett is one of the richest men in the world via investing. And so we've been hearing this our entire lives from our parents and grandparents. They think that saving is the key to wealth, but realistically it's not. It's not only that. That's not the only key to wealth. Increasing your income is the first step. How do you increase your income? You attain valuable skills that you can take from another, that you can take money from another person. And what that means is whether you're working at a job, how can you become more valuable? If you're a business, how can you make yourself more valuable? And if you have let's say you do anything, freelancing or stuff like that, you do the best that you can do. And so upgrading your skills is the first step to making more money. And two, keeping that money, because it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. I recommend a book for you guys, The Richest Man in Babylon. And to summarize it is, save 10% of everything you earn for yourself, at least 10%. Thank you for watching. If that video has been any way, shape or form beneficial for you, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and leave down below what's one thing you're going to be doing differently with your money. And you can actually leave video recommendations down below, because I'm open for ideas for my future videos. And I make these videos for younger me and also for people who look like me. If you know, you know. Black is beautiful, black is great, and it's a blessing and it's a privilege to be black. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.